Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it says we're live, but I don't know if we're live officially. Because on StreamYard, it always fucks with me, and it says we're live when we're not. But we're, I don't know. So anyways, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, Jake McGovern, a.k.a. Cubics, and this is the best show here, the best show there, the best show anywhere. Shooting the shit. This is Shooting the Shit with Cubics. And today, we're going to be reacting. It's not really a react, but, this is my live reactions because right now, we are getting NXT and AEW at the same time. It's the Wednesday Night War, ladies and gentlemen, the Wednesday Night War. So right now we're getting Kushida and someone else. I don't know. Let's flip back to AEW, though, because I want to see what AEW is doing. Because right now, AEW, as soon as I started the stream, AEW was having a match with number 8 and number 9 of the Dark Order versus the Natural Nightmares. The Natural Nightmares, by the way, is a team of QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes. Does anyone know who the fuck QT Marshall is? Like, I'm having trouble. I don't know who the fuck QT Marshall is, but we have number 8 and number 9 of the Dark Order versing off against Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall. So let's just break this down. All right. Now, a couple weeks ago, I'd say about 2 weeks from now, AEW had Brody Lee, a.k.a. Luke Harper, formerly known as Luke Harper, made his debut on AEW television, and he was the Exalted One of the Dark Order. Now, the Dark Order has been promoting and fucking, making it known that the Exalted One is coming, from the Dark Order. The Exalted One is coming. And it turns out to be Brody Lee. Now, we all know Brody Lee has all this untapped potential because WWE wasted Luke Harper, So we have Brody Lee debuting AEW, cutting a fucking mediocre promo going out saying, the darkness of I am Brody Lee, the Exalted One. Basically, paint by numbers shit. And everyone expects this to be great. Like, this is somehow great. This is somehow a fucking, a revelation. Like, Brody Lee is going to be the greatest superstar ever while he's in AEW because, instead of being a follower in a faction, he's the leader of a faction. So we have Brody Lee coming out here basically being like a faux cult leader, being like, you don't eat that steak before I'm done. Basically parodying Vince McMahon or some shit. I don't know. It was somehow supposed to parody Vince McMahon. So I don't know how that was supposed to go. But, this promo was just so mediocre. I posted this on the Facebook group, on the No DQ Facebook group. I said, I've seen better acting in porn. And yes, I have seen better acting than porn. Pretty much. I've seen a lot of pornos. And I've seen better acting in them. But to have Brody Lee sit there in a fucking suit looking like he's sweating his fucking balls off, going off about, you don't eat before I'm done. I'm the Exalted One. It's like, okay, could we have not come up with a better fucking, a better fucking storyline for Brody Lee? This guy who supposedly has so much potential, who has so much fucking untapped, markets, what has he done recently that's shown otherwise? He had a match tonight against fucking Marco Stunt. Oh, no, that was Lance Archer, actually. Lance Archer had a match against Marco Stunt. I'm sorry. But the fact that Marco Stunt is even in AEW or is on a fucking mainstream wrestling program. Oh, no, they have Chris Jericho talking to Vanguard 1 right now. And that was another thing. They had fucking one of the Young Bucks talking to Vanguard 1 like it was a real person. They had Chris Jericho last week cutting a promo on Vanguard 1 like it was a real person. And I'm the only one that's coming after this shit. But, they had Lance Archer tonight against Marco Stunt in his first fucking match. And, of course, who do you think is going to win that match? Oh, is it going to be the fucking the 3-foot autistic runaway? Or is it going to be the 6-foot fucking guy and Lance Archer from New Japan? Who's going to win that match? It's obvious. So I'm just saying... and people come after me like I'm bashing AEW just to bash AEW. It's not that simple. When they do stupid shit like this, like I'm seeing right now with Chris Jericho talking to Vanguard 1 like it's a real fucking person attaching t-shirts to it. But no, this is better than WWE. This is better than what WWE is doing right now when Chris Jericho's chasing a fucking drone in a fucking field.
What does wrestling come to?
Really? What? Yeah, what? My dad just said it right now off camera. What does wrestling come to? I know we're in a dark time right now where people are getting our disease, we're getting the coronavirus and all that shit, but why does wrestling have to suck too? And I know people are going to say, well, you're not talking about the WWE stuff. What about the shit that happened with Elias and Baron Corbin? That shit sucked too. They had Elias and King Corbin. They had King Corbin hit Elias off a fucking, off a balcony, and they had him sold it like he was in pain. They literally just showed on NXT tonight that with Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, if they jumped out that balcony and landed on something, they'd be fine. So why do they have to pre-record Elias going off a fucking edge into, like, that's the thing. And I know I shouldn't obsess or I shouldn't fucking get myself too worked up over this shit because in all honesty, it's a fake fucking sport. Like, realistically, they shouldn't be fucking doing this right now. They shouldn't be out wrestling with all the fucking coronavirus shit. And now look on AEW, they're promoting the next Dynamite is Shawn Spears versus Cody. Yeah, because everyone wants to see that fucking match. Everyone wants to see Shawn Spears versus Cody Rhodes. And then they're having an empty arena, no holds barred, between Jon Moxley and Jake Hager. Jake Hager, who Jim Ross can't stop calling Jack fucking Swagger, because that's who he is. He's Jack Swagger. And Jim Ross, by the way, who should not be on commentary. Jim Ross is like, he's the greatest commentator of all time. One of the best. All time, one of the best. But he should not be on commentary, stumbling through his words, especially because he's an elderly man now. He's an elderly man who's susceptible to this fucking coronavirus, and they're having him out there traveling to Florida, fucking talking about these dumb fucking flippity-floppity-flu wrestlers, sitting out here talking about, Too Cold Scorpio, and that's not Too Cold Scorpio, that's Scorpio Sky. Oh no, fucking yeah, we got Jack Swagger and Jake Hager, Jack Swagger. Oh, we got Jungle Boy Jack Perry. No, wait, Jungle Boy Jack Perry. He needs to go away. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be that guy, to stop doing what he does, but he needs to retire. He needs to set aside, he needs to go. He needs to go away. And especially now, because, we're in a fucking pandemic and we shouldn't be worrying about all these flippity-floppity-doo wrestlers. Oh, we shouldn't be worrying about when's Chris Jericho going to fucking cut a promo on fucking Matt Jackson under a fucking garage door, which could easily be moved with your fucking hands, and somehow he's decapitated because of it, or somehow he's put out of commission because of it. It's fucking stupid. It's retarded. And I got Scott Casey Gale in the chat. Got the Darkness of Chaos Network.
What's up, Scott?
What's up, Scott? We got Brody Lee, the Exalted One, Ambassador, are the best things about AEW. Okay, yeah, they're the best things about AEW. But what does that tell you? When a fucking jobber from WWE is when a mid-card jobber from WWE and Matt Hardy, a guy who they haven't used at all in the past, maybe 5 or 6 years. And because he has one stroke of genius that's an internet meme that's popular on the internet. The broken Matt Hardy, I will delete you, obsolete, all that bullshit. Because it's popular on the internet, that doesn't mean it translate to national fucking TV. And I don't think people get this. The fact that people think that a mid-card jobber from WWE and Matt Hardy is the best thing going for this new fucking wrestling promotion is sad. It really is. When they're trying to promote these fucking, these jabronis like the Young Bucks, and I've said this multiple fucking times. No one has ever been able to challenge me on this shit. Can you name me a really great or a really good Cody Rhodes match? Can you name me a really great Young Bucks match? Besides Kenny, you could name me great Kenny Omega matches with guys that are not named Okada. Just because he has great matches against Okada doesn't mean he has great matches everywhere else. Seriously, I saw this match with who did he wrestle tonight? Kenny Omega. Who did he wrestle tonight?
The gay guy.
Well, yeah, he wrestles some fucking. I don't even know who Kenny Omega wrestled tonight, but it'll come to me in a second. But Kenny Omega wrestled someone tonight, and it kept going. Oh, he wrestled Trent. He wrestled Trent Beretta. By the way, you can't call him Trent Beretta because Beretta is the name of a gun. And, we don't want to trigger some people because, we can't have someone by the name of Trent Beretta. So he's just Trent. It's Kenny Omega versus Trent. So they go out there for 30 fucking minutes, probably flippity flopping and do around, touching each other, all that shit. Kenny Omega with his fucking jazz hands, all that shit. And it's fucking embarrassing. We switched back to NXT, and it was the Velveteen Dream against someone from the Undisputed Era. I don't remember what his name is. It was probably... It was Bobby Fish, actually. Bobby Fish. And the match was done. And it was already moving on to another match. And by the time we flipped back to the commercial, it was that still fucking match with Kenny Omega and Trent. Nobody gives a fuck about these people. These are guys who would be jobbers on the mid-card level of WWE in 2008. In 2008, we're not even talking about right now. We're not even talking about right now when they have fucking Austin Theory as a fucking challenger for the Raw Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania. WrestleMania, which is taking place at the Performance Center, a fucking glorified warehouse, basically, which what it is. It's basically a glorified warehouse, but they're having WrestleMania there. And, and I get it. I'm not just shitting on AEW. I can shit on WWE too. But I'm not talking about WWE. I'm talking about AEW right now. Just saying that this shit sucks doesn't mean that the other thing doesn't suck. Just because this pile of shit on one corner doesn't, stinks as much as this pile of shit on the other corner, doesn't mean that the shit doesn't stink. The shit stinks on all fucking corners. But I'm talking about this pile of shit that stinks right now. I'm not talking about the other pile of shit on the other corner that stinks. I'm talking about this one. All right? Now, AEW is a fucking... It literally is just marks, literally. And I'm sorry to call all you wrestling fans marks, because I know a lot of you out there feel entitled to AEW. Oh, they're the real wrestling. They're bringing wrestling back. Well, I guarantee you, if this coronavirus shit keeps going and if we just have empty arena shows, AEW ain't gonna last. I'm sorry. I hate to be that guy, but AEW is not gonna fucking last. With all this shit, AEW is going to go by the wayside. They're going to fucking file for bankruptcy. It's going to happen. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be the fucking negative Nancy, to shit on all you guys who are jerking off to Cody and the fucking Young Bucks and shit, who guys are splurging in their fucking jeans. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but long term, this is not going to work for AEW. And long term, this is going to work for WWE. Because they have the network, they have all these resources, and they have all this money. And not to say that Tony Khan and all those fucking Khan motherfuckers don't have the money, but I guarantee you, they run the Jacksonville Jaguars. They run a bunch of different sports-oriented things. I think their last fucking priority is this dumb fucking skinny Mark Wrestling Federation. I'm sorry, that's just me. Anyone can fucking challenge me on that, and I don't give a fuck. But, anyone who wants to challenge me on that, they can. I don't care whether it's Scott, whether it's fucking, Noah Watts himself, whether it's anyone else. I don't care. I'm just saying long-term AEW will not last. And they have not done, can anyone please tell me, they have not done anything that has warrant them being called great. They have done nothing. What have they done? They've had Matt Hardy show up in a fucking... They had Matt Hardy showed up in a pre-recorded segment with him fucking pretending to teleport over the whole fucking arena. And then they had to come out and explain why that was stupid. It's like, why am I the only one seeing this shit? All right, we got Scott Casey Gale in the chat. Do you like Dan Lambert, the manager of King Mo and Emily? See, here's the thing. I don't give a fuck about MLW because MLW is a promotion on YouTube. They don't have mainstream shows. If they had a mainstream show on let's say, I don't know why any of these wrestling promotions haven't had a show on Showtime or Netflix or Hulu, any of that. No wrestling promotion has ever invested in a streaming service besides the WWE network. But AEW is fucking retarded for going on TNT and fucking, we're going to create a tournament for the TNT championship. It's what the fuck does that even mean? What, we're going to have Sean Spears, a guy who's on TV? By the way, I'm watching this live in real time right now. AEW is on TV right now. They're having They're having Darby Allin, Sean Spears, Cody, Dustin Rhodes, Lance Archer, someone else in this fucking tournament to become the TNT champion. So if it were up to me, I'd put it on Darby Allin. Darby Allin's the one guy who has a solid presentation, who looks like a fucking superstar. Yeah, is he as skinny as fucking Don Knotts? Yeah, he is. He's skinny as fucking Don Knotts, but, you know, he can wrestle. Yeah, he's the one fucking dude who's not just going out there, who's just flopping the fucking around and doing random shit for money. He knows what to do. Unlike fucking Joey Janela's retarded ass, because I know they have Joey Janela in there. Joey Janela's a fucking piece of shit, and they have him out there doing fucking. They have him out there as a, like, signed to a contract, to probably a $1,000,000 contract. When they have someone like fucking Hannibal, aka Devin Nicholson, fucking struggling on the independents for years, and he had hepatitis. He had a WWE contract, but he had hepatitis C, and that's what took him out. You know, but it turns out he didn't really have hepatitis C. Fucking Abdullah the Butcher gave it to him, and this motherfucker, and a guy like Marco Stunt has a fucking contract. It's embarrassing to the fucking wrestling business, and I hate to be that fucking guy who's like, oh, it's embarrassing to the wrestling business, and oh, I know this shit's fake. I know it's a fake fucking sport. But when you have guys like even Darby Allin, I'm calling him out, who looks like a fucking, you know, an AIDS patient, and you have fucking Marco Stunt out there, and you have guys like QT Marshall. Like, who the fuck's ever heard of QT Marshall? You know? Like, and I get it, you want to give everyone a spot, but at least give some names. Some names. You know, like, don't put fucking Jack Swagger out there. You know, don't put fucking, you know, Dean Ambrose out there. Get some names who have not been in the wrestling business. Where the fuck is Damian Sandow? Where's Damian Sandow on NWA fucking cutting random promos about Mongrovian karate and shit? You know, where's Ryback? Ryback's making a fucking YouTube. Ryback has a YouTube channel promoting supplements. Why do you have these guys who are legitimate promo cutters and legitimate fucking, like, real guys who are legit main eventers who got fucked over in WWE, who actually got fucked over, instead of Cody Rhodes and fucking Jack Swagger, who reached their full potential? Let's not do ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Cody Rhodes hit his peak in WWE as Stardust. That was as far as he's going to go ever. All right, there's no, oh, well, maybe if Cody, well, let's put Cody Rhodes out there with Kenny Omega. Who the fuck is Kenny Omega? All right, now I know Kenny Omega had these great fucking matches in Japan and all these fucking shit. And I know if you put on a Kenny Omega and Okada match, it's fucking awesome. You can watch that match. It's, you know, any Kenny Omega and Okada match, it's awesome. But if you put Kenny Omega with any other fucking opponent, it's shit. It's fucking garbage. And I dare anyone to come after me with that fucking logic that it's anything otherwise, because it's fucking bullshit that this motherfucker is on mainstream television. I know I sound like fucking Jim Cornette saying, "Oh, Kenny Omega's a fucking." Kenny Omega has done nothing, in my opinion, to like, he's basically Seth Rollins if Seth Rollins had curly hair. Basically, that's what Kenny Omega is. He's Seth Rollins if he had fucking curly hair and tighter tights. That's basically what he is. And I'm sorry, and I challenge anyone to challenge me on that shit. But, you know, the fact that this is what's next in line. This is what's second to WWE. It's embarrassing. This is why I wish Lucha Underground was still employed, because Lucha Underground was an actual alternative. That was actually something different instead of the Cody way of doing Vince's shit. That's all this is. It's just Cody's. It's all it is. It's just Cody and Tony Khan's way of doing Vince's shit. That's all this. That's all AEW is. And I'm saying, you know, like my dad said it best. I've talked to him, my dad, with this. Dusty Rhodes would be rolling in his fucking grave. And anyone who's like, "Oh, well, you don't know anything about it. You're just a fucking mark for WWE." WWE sucks right now, all right? Both of them fucking sucks. They shouldn't even have shows right now. If it was my honest opinion, none of them should be running shows. Yeah, fans is what's wrestling, all right? You can't have wrestling shows without the fucking fans. You can't. You can't do anything without the fans. They make wrestling. And the fact that they're having WrestleMania in a fucking empty arena is fucking embarrassing. And I hope everyone fucking rejoices about this time we're going through right now, because this is a time that's going to go down in history. Like, you know, No matter what happens, we're part of history right now. So we got to deal with this shit. But the fact that AEW is doing phony shit with wrestling, and there's no one in the audience, and they have Matt Hardy they make it seem like Matt Hardy's teleporting in the arena, doing the fake shit, and like he's controlling the pyro. It's fucking stupid. If you're gonna have empty arena shows, make light of what you're doing. Don't make it seem like the wrestling business is phony in the process. And I'm not one to be like, oh, well, the wrestling business needs to be protected. It doesn't. The kayfabe's broken. Everyone knows wrestling's fake at this point. But can you at least not make it a fucking, a joke for everyone? Because now this is all people got to watch. This is the only contact sport we got going on right now. This is the only sport thing we got going on that's live right now. We don't have NBA. We don't have fucking cricket. We don't have fucking golf. We don't have all that other shit. So the only thing we got that's in contact sports is wrestling. And the fact that the first thing people see is Matt Hardy teleporting in the fucking arena, that's a problem. That is a fucking problem. And it's stupid. So, and I'm the only one that sees this, but no, it's great. Matt Hardy was totally wasted in WWE. What could have Matt Hardy done while he was in WWE better than this? Once Matt Hardy gets to AEW, his creative control is gonna flourish, and he's gonna reach his full potential. Okay, so he's gonna fucking dye half of his hair red and fucking like he's teleporting in the arena. Oh yeah, great job. Yeah, Matt Hardy, you left WWE for the fucking best choice. Same thing with fucking Shawn Spears. They have Shawn Spears on TV right now, who was formerly Ty Dillinger doing the whole 10 shit. And they have him in this is his first televised match, I think, in fucking, I can't even remember. Can anyone quote me on that? When was the last time he had a match on TV? He always has matches on AEW Dark. I know that shit, but, he had the right choice. He jumped ship because WWE is such a prison. Oh, they're holding everyone back. Same thing. I saw an interview with Dustin Rhodes. He was saying how WWE, he's like, oh, I'm like Papillon. You ever seen the movie Papillon? I'm like Papillon. Keep getting out of the prison and keep going back in. I can't. Okay, motherfucker. If WWE wasn't around, you would be nobody. You would be nobody, Dustin Rhodes. All right? Anyone who says otherwise, Dustin Rhodes was made by the WWE. They made Goldust. They made that whole fucking thing. Dustin Rhodes, without the WWE, he would go by the name of fucking David Flair. You know who David Flair is? Exactly. So, or fucking David Sammartino. There's a lot of David, there's a lot of second generation Davids who don't do well. But David Sammartino or Dustin Rhodes would end up in the same fucking patch if WWE didn't create the Goldust character. That's just a fucking fact. Anyone can take me to town on that shit, and I challenge anyone. But I'm just saying, I'm watching the AEW show live, and what really set me off was the fact that they had number 8 and number 9 of the Dark Order in a match against Dustin Rhodes and fucking QT Marshall. And then this is somehow the greatest, somehow this is the alternative to WWE. Vince better watch his fucking back. It's fucking embarrassing. And if this was done on WWE, programming, you all would fucking lash out and fucking go fucking comments and all that shit. What's up, Melanie? We got Melanie in the chat. I can't see the emojis right now because I'm on the computer, but what's up, Melanie? And so, if this was on WWE programming, people would freak the fuck out and just, have their all panties in a bunch. But because this is AEW, we gotta hang off of everything Cody and Kenny and the Young Bucks say. We gotta fucking jerk off in our fucking panties, and we gotta watch AEW because that's the real wrestling. They saved wrestling. I go through AEW forum posts, just to cringe. Shut the fuck up! I cringe, if you ever want to cringe, if you ever need a good cringe, if you ever need to feel good about yourself and you're good, feel about how good you're doing in life, go through the AEW comment posts and just see all these fucking virgins and all these fucking neck-bearded bastards like all, Cody, you guys saved my life. I was done dealing with the WWE Sasha Banks. I was done seeing Sasha Banks, so I had to see the Young Bucks rolling around and doing kicks, and my fucking jammies of the Stardust were fucking coming. It's embarrassing. All you gotta do if you want to have a good cringe, just go through AEW forum posts and AEW fucking commentary. And I guess the same fucking thing about WWE, exactly. But like I've said it before. It's like comparing two big pieces of shit, well, this shit smells bad. Well, this shit smells worse. So, well, both shit smell bad, so it's like, what the fuck do you need to do? Anyways, I'm done. I don't need to talk about anything else. If you guys want to hear me talk about stuff, go on. I have the 3 Count podcast. It's coming soon. We tried to record an episode this past year, but things were not working. My computer was sucking ass. It was sucking ass. Omega, I assume, does. But it was pretty bad. So, if you guys want to hear me talk more, you hear me talk about it on the 3 Count podcast. The 3 Count podcast is coming very soon, and it'll be on its own channel. It's with me, Jason the Shield of Ballycastle, me, and Jeff Welch, a.k.a. Unigamer, and Nigel, a.k.a. the NF Punk. So it's going to be a great fucking podcast channel with us. And that's all I really got to say, because AEW is going on right now. They have Shawn Spears and Sammy Guevara taking on Darby Allin and Cody, because I assume this is going to be a riveting match for the AG. This is a match I'm going to be talking about with my fucking grandkids. I can't wait to talk about the time Shawn Spears and Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin. Literally,
Sammy Guevara.
Well, Sammy Guevara, he's in the inner circle, Dad.
Oh.
He's in the inner circle with Chris Jericho and, the other 2 dudes.
But why? But why? That's all I got to say. Why?
All I got to say is that check that they're giving Jericho must be pretty good. Because, Sammy Guevara, he's legit. He's a good wrestler. He's got all the tools, as Booker T would say. But why? Why? Why are we having Jon Moxley go against Jake Hager? Fucking Jake Hager, a guy who was Jack Swagger in WWE and had 1 fucking world title reign and nothing else. That's all I could fucking think of. Because we were there. I was there at WrestleMania 26 when he won the Money in the Bank, and that was a cool moment. But that was it. That's the only thing I can fucking think of his whole career. And now we have Jon Moxley, the world champion of the company, going after him like he's big, like he's this big fucking threat. I thought wins and losses were supposed to matter. I thought this was a sports-oriented wrestling program. Why are we having Sammy Guevara and Shawn? Why are we having Shawn Spears in the fucking main event when he hasn't won a match once? Can anyone name me a match that Shawn Spears has won in AEW once? Can anyone? I'm sorry. Why is he in the fucking main event or in this match with Cody Rhodes right now when supposedly wins and losses matter? If that made sense, they would treat this like a fucking real sports-oriented program and they wouldn't have the fucking jobber in the fucking main event. And why does Shawn Spears have Tully Blanchard as his manager? That makes no sense. Why do they have Tully Blanchard if he cuts no promos and he doesn't talk? Do you see the problem? Am I the only one that sees the problem with this shit? I feel like I am. So, yeah. So, anyways, AEW is the greatest wrestling promotion going on right now. And if you guys want to watch wrestling on Wednesday nights, please watch that, because you're going to get shit that makes sense. It's total quality. You got, Cody rumbling around like a fucking buffoon now on because that's what you're going to get used to. Is these empty arena shows, they're going to be around for a little bit now because we don't know how this shit's going to last. So you got to deal with Cody talking like a fucking buffoon. You got to deal with Jim Ross fumbling his own fucking words because he doesn't know the wrestlers that are in the ring. You got to deal with fucking Tony Schiavone pretending like he gives a shit. You got to deal with a guy in a mask who nobody knows has wrestled before, but apparently he has. He has all these fucking knowledge. But I'm having an aneurysm because the person's hitting the move in the fucking middle of the ring. I got to talk like that. I can fucking do this shit. If you want to put me on commentary on AEW, it would be a million times better, and I would give many more emotion than they have. And you got this, you got ref Aubrey in the middle of the ring. And I like Aubrey Edwards. She's a good referee, but, she does way too much. way too much. She like emotes and she like, moves her body and fucking, when she the count, she does the and all that shit. And I'm not having the webcam show me right now, but I'm very animated right now. So, anyways, in closing, I don't want to have to talk about this shit anymore. If anyone wants to challenge me on this shit, they wholeheartedly can. I will be more than happy to have a debate about all elite wrestling, NXT and all that, because AEW sucks, man. And if anyone wants to challenge me on that, they heartedly can. And I'm throwing out the challenge. So if anyone wants to challenge me and have a debate about all elite wrestling or NXT, I'm totally down because I guarantee I will fucking win because this shit is fucking embarrassing. They are doing nothing that's different from the WWE. This is literally WWE Light. That's all it is. It's WWE Light. If you don't want to watch WWE, but like with the with half the calories and all that shit, there you go. There's AEW. And it's sad because I mentioned this before I go. It's sad that they have Jake the Snake Roberts because Jake the Snake Roberts is a guy who just got clean not too long ago, hasn't been in the wrestling business a long time. And when this motherfucker cuts the promo, you listen. You listen to what he has to say. And they have him with a fucking jobber who no one other than the New Japan audience has heard of before, Lance Archer. Lance Archer is, okay, what I've seen of Lance Archer in the New Japan shit, he's good. He's a decent wrestler. But to have Jake the Snake Roberts, all right, a guy who is a master of cutting promos, a guy who could fucking, like, you put him in front of anyone, he could talk circles around anyone. All right, you don't even have to fight Jake the Snake Roberts. You could just put him in front of him and he would just talk to you, and that's it. Jake Roberts, they have him as his fucking manager, a big guy who no one virtually outside of Japan who has heard of before, and they have Jake the Snake Roberts as his manager. All that's gonna do is get Jake the Snake Roberts over. It's not gonna get this fucking unknown dude over. It's gonna let people know how great Jake the Snake Roberts is. Like, am I the only one seeing this problem? I feel like I am. Like, I can't be the only one. If you have Jake the Snake Roberts has never been a manager before. He's never been a manager in his whole career. He's never been a manager. So when he goes out there and cuts a promo, he's going to put himself over. He's going to put himself over and not this fucking jobber who nobody has heard of before. And I know Lance Archer has done shit in Japan and all that shit. The mainstream audience doesn't give a fuck about Japan. Like, oh, well, Kenny Omega and Okada had those great fucking matches. Well, no one cares because nobody watches fucking New Japan Pro Wrestling in the mainstream audience. I'm sorry to break this to all of you, but fuck. All right. Now I'm going to put the camera on myself to make this last point. All right. AEW and all wrestling as a whole. This is not just an AEW problem. AEW, the longer this coronavirus goes on, it's going to be a fucking problem for all of wrestling, but mostly AEW. Because AEW is relying on their fucking TV shit, and that's it. But it's going to become a fucking problem when they keep having, because most of the cool AEW talent are from other places. Pac is from the UK. Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix, they're from Mexico, and you think they're going to spend money outsourcing these fucking people in? No! So it's fucking stupid I'm just saying, they need to just suspend all shows outright because obviously none of the mainstream talent they have right now are getting the job done, obviously, because am I missing something? Can I indulge anyone? Can you please let me know what I'm missing? Because I'm not missing anything. There's my dad right there. That's my daddy, yo. But I'm not missing a damn thing. I feel like I'm the only one that's objecting this shit, and someone needs to call me on this. Can anyone, please? Because I'm done ranting about this shit, and it's like beating the fucking dead horse. It's like if I have I don't know. It's like if I have a fucking anemic, a teenager in the corner, and he's like, "I want to play football, Dad." It's like, yeah, you probably should not do that. It's like AEW. It's like AEW trying to aspire to be something they're not. They're not doing damn thing, and they're not going to edge their way into this little fucking. I don't know. I feel like I'm fighting a losing battle. So if anyone wants to challenge me on this shit, they wholeheartedly can, because I am Cubics. I'm Jake McGovern. I back down from nobody. So, anyways, I'm done talking. I mean, I pretty much said all I needed to say. I know we got Melanie, we got Darkness Chaos in there. You know, Melanie, what's up? And we got Darkness Chaos and Network in the chat. You know, that's all well and good, but I don't care whether anybody else values my opinion or not. I'm just saying that this is stupid, and I shouldn't be the only one pointing this shit out. So, anyways, like this video, comment on this video, and subscribe if you want to. My name is Jacob McGovern, a.k.a. Cubics, and this has been Shooting the Shit with Cubics. It's the best show here, the best show there, the best show anywhere. So, ladies and gentlemen, and I know I said it in the last video that I uploaded, but please wash yourselves, you know, wash your hands, wash your faces, wash your taint, wash your balls, wash all that shit, because you never know what's going to happen. Use Decon 7. So, whatever happens, keep your dicks hard, and ladies, please keep your pussies wet. This has been Shooting the Shit. We'll see you all next time.